Hi everyone, this is Robin, and this is the last week this week for week 6. So last week we began the part of the course where we're looking at the competencies about leading self. We also last week talked about emotional intelligence. So in terms of learning activities, I had you read an HBR, Harvard Business Review article on What Makes a Leader by Dan Goleman. You watched a brief video that I created on emotional intelligence, and then I also had a handout to go with that listing competencies with the 4 quadrants of Goleman's emotional intelligence model. Now, in terms of assignments, your first assignment was to complete the leadership competency model self-assessment. So again, just as a reminder, the reason that you did this is we are going to spend the rest of the semester learning the competencies, discussing the competencies, practicing the competencies that are on that self-assessment. So the first place, or in our competency model, so the first place to start is with the self-assessment, so that you know the areas in which you are strong, that you want to continue doing that. You know the areas in which you are less strong, so that you can focus on development in those areas. In addition to having you do a self-assessment on each of the competencies, I also asked you to take a look at the competencies and see which of those are most relevant and most important for you right now in the professional or non-outside of work role that you play. Now, in addition to that, you added the annotated bibliography number 2 to our class document. You continued reading leadership articles and blogs. We're going to keep doing that every week. You had a forum discussion with your learning team, and then you did have an optional assignment, which was to complete the personality profile assessment and discuss it in the forum. So again, the personality profile assessment is like the Myers-Briggs personality type indicator, except for it's free and probably a little less reliable because of that. But still, it's a great tool just to give you some additional self-awareness about yourself. As you remember from what you learned about emotional intelligence last week, the first step in being emotionally intelligent is to become self-aware. And so this is just one more tool to help you increase your self-awareness. So all of that was last week. Let's talk about what we're doing this week. So this week we are working on one of the case studies that you downloaded at the beginning of the semester from Harvard Business School Publishing Press. We're going to be looking at the DRW Technologies case study. It's a short 3-page case study. So you downloaded the course pack, which had 2 case studies, the DRW Technologies case study, which we're using this week, and the similar case study, which we're going to use later in the semester. So your assignment for this week is to read and discuss that case study with your team. So you'll see part 1 is to discuss Monday through Wednesday a particular question, which is what, if anything, should Claiborne do and why? And then part 2 is a discussion Wednesday through Friday, really Wednesday through Sunday, where you discuss 3 of the questions from a handout that's listed in the framework. And then part 3 is you write a short paper by Sunday, and that short paper you will include what's the first thing that Ed Claiborne should do according to you. What do you think the first thing is that Ed Claiborne should do and why? And what will be the impact of doing that? And then I also want you to describe one thing you learned that's important and valuable to you. So again, the flow is you read it, you get a chance to discuss it and think through it and modify and improve your ideas, and then you write a short paper that you turn in by Sunday. This short paper, of course, will have a cover page and will follow the guidelines for written assignments in the syllabus. So in terms of forum discussions, and you'll see I have forum discussions or other discussions, you're going to be discussing your case study. Now, why do I say forum discussions or other discussions? Well, let me go to the next slide. So here are some options for your discussion. The obvious option is to talk about it in the forum. The forum is what this class is built for. It's what most of your OLP classes are built for. You are welcome to continue discussing it in the forum. But because it's a case study, sometimes it's more fun and more interesting and more useful to talk about it voice to voice, to talk about it, you can't see my little air quotes, but in person. And so the way to do that is through a video conference, potentially through a conference call, but it's difficult to have this many people on a conference call and have it be productive. But video conferences work pretty well. So you're welcome to use Zoom, you're welcome to use Google Hangouts, you're welcome to use any other video conferencing thing that you have access to. Now, some of you may not have participated in video conferences before, and that's fine, but this is also a good opportunity to get some experience with that. So you'll see if you decide to do your discussions outside of the regular discussion forum that's in Moodle, there's a couple of guidelines. So first of all, you can only do non-Moodle forum discussions if 100% of your learning team agrees and is able to participate. This is an everybody or a nobody option. And again, the reason for that is because these courses are asynchronous courses. So people come to these courses with an expectation that they will not need to schedule a time to meet with people. So if everybody cannot meet in a video conference, then you are in the Moodle discussion forums. So the other thing is, rather than discussing it Monday through Wednesday and Wednesday through Sunday, you can discuss everything in one video conference call. So you can discuss that first question, and you can discuss the at least 3 questions that came off that sheet that's in the forum, in the framework. Now, if you are going to do a video conference, I would like someone from the team to send me an email to let me know what your plans are. Because if you're not in the forums, I want to know how come you're not in the forums. So let me know what you are planning to do. And then finally, I would love to hear your discussion. So if you're using Google Hangouts or you're using Zoom, it's pretty easy to record the conversation. So go ahead and do that and send me the file in the case of Zoom, or send me the link in the case of Google Hangouts. And if you don't, and if you don't know how to do that, let me know. So again, what's all this about? I'm just giving you another option. So you still are welcome to participate in the forums. That's perfectly fine. But here's another option if you're interested and if everybody's available to do it, which is to talk about it voice to voice. All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions on anything, let me know. Otherwise, we will see you online.